Okay, welcome to Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves. Now, what I want to do today is for you to get the feel of what it would be like if you had this training automatic. So if you decided to train yourself to become a millionaire, you just, and you had this to do, train yourself, this to train yourself, you would go, sure, I can do that. So it's sort of like if you're, if you went to the gym and you've got these big strong muscles and somebody said, can you lift that over there? And you get a little smile on your face. Of course, sure I can. And you feel confident, you have that twinkling eye, of course you can. But if you don't have strong arms and you got these weak little arms, you sort of have this, I don't know if I can. And that's what I want to talk about because uh, a lot of us have tried to change before. Uh, so what we want to talk about is taking on and training yourself. We've already tried that, and it was a little tough. I mean, our parents tried to train us, we tried to train us, and we keep ending up with this fixed person that we seem to be trained to be, and it's just like, oh man, is this really possible? So you weren't haphazardly trained, of course. You're sort of a mess, so to speak. And now the question is, can we clean it up with a training program? And one of the biggest things I want to remind you is that when people think of training, they mainly, it triggers force, push, pressure, sacrifice, all those no pain, no gain type of things. And I really want you to get there's a natural way that you can train yourself that will actually work. Let me just look here real quick at my notes. Okay. Uh, but not only is there a natural way, but you actually can train yourself to do this. Now, again, you might look at yourself, but I'm a mess. If you look at this piece of junk that I am, how am I ever going to train myself? I've tried, and it doesn't work. How am I going to do this? So let me just go through a couple of things to give you a feel for them again. So again, remember the spider training. Remember a person here totally, deathly afraid of spiders, yet it takes a number of different steps at a number of different levels, and within a couple hours, a person who can't even get in the same room with a spider is able to have a spider crawling on their arm. And it's like, wow. It's like, how did that happen? Well, we went through the process a little bit. The first thing is that they take, let's just say they're getting in the same room. They first say, okay, can you imagine they first, let's just say the room. So we first just take them into a room with no spider in. They get them comfortable with the room. Say, no big deal, right? So we get them relaxed, and then one of the things we always do is we give them something to do when they go into that room. So we say, okay, when you go into this room, I want you to whatever, count to 10 or do this or do that. Give them something to do, okay, and then take some deep breaths and relax, okay, and get comfortable. So, they do it without the spider. Then they say, okay, now we're going to pretend there's a spider in there. So we're going to come in there and you're going to pretend there's a spider in there. And you're going to just do what you do. Okay. And then they actually do it with a spider in there. And again, one of the things we always want them to do is to do it when we're not there on their own just because they want to do it. So they, I was there or somebody was there watching them and they walked into the room and they go, yeah, see, I can do it, so my influence or my peer pressure, they do it, but can they do it on their own? So now we leave, they go and try to do it on their own. Now, the next thing we want to do is do the surprise, right? Or what do when they're tired or distracted, like so they walk into a room or something like that, and you go, surprise, a spider, and you want to make sure they already know what to do. They count to 10, and they calm down. They're in the room with a spider. Okay, so there's this process that they go through, and you keep getting closer and closer and closer until pretty soon you have them with a spider walking on their hand, and they have something to do. So it is possible, and it's more. I mean, that was very structured, and somebody else did it. They didn't do it to themselves, so it's like somebody took it to, but it took a couple hours. They did that. So I want to take you through a couple of other examples. So uh, when I learned to snow ski. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I was prepared. I mean, first of all, I had big, strong, athletic legs. I played basketball, football, and all sorts of sports. I was a football player, so I was tough. I was able to fall down and stuff like that. I had learned judo, so I knew how to fall down and get back up quickly. Uh, had a lot of things, shall we say, going for me. So I go. They take me down the bunny hill once, and then they say, okay, come on over here. We're going to go up the lift. So down the bunny hill once, and then we went straight to the top of the hill. Then they pointed me in one direction. They went down another direction. They say, we'll see you at the bottom of the hill. So, so I went for it. I went down the hill, and I'll tell you right now, I fell basically down the hill. 90% of the time I was falling. But hey, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was so exciting to be skiing that, I would fall, get back up and ski, and then I'd fall and ski, fall and ski. And I had the puffy clothes, so no big deal. You used to bounce off the snow. I didn't get hurt. That was tough. So anyway, but again, as soon as I got to the bottom, went right back up to the top of the hill again, did it again and again and again and again. And by the end of the day, wasn't falling near as much as I was before. But that's how I learned to snow ski. And the key point is that what I took away from that was I didn't as we drove home, I didn't remember all the falls. I was remembering the skiing. I skied, and I was focused on that. And see, one of that sort of the is, I don't know how to say it, but it's one of the things we're going to train is that a lot of the stuff of what people call struggle and suffer and things like that is a lack of the ways that they prepared and set themselves up. So we're going to talk more about that. What else do I want to talk here real quickly about? Okay, so let's go back to the concept of could you train yourself if you were afraid of spiders to not be afraid? Well, you could do the research, right? You could start going. That's level one, right? Doing the research. Finding out the facts about spiders and everything. Then sort of seeing, well, can I, these are the steps that they go through to train it, or I could figure out maybe the process, and then you sort of picture yourself doing it and being relaxed and having something to do. Then you do it in sort of a safe situation and actually do it. Then you do it in a room where it's the actual thing as opposed to say like a classroom setting or something like that. And then again that during that when you want to make sure that you do it on your own without anybody watching, right? Okay. And then the last one you want to do is just like you want to do it like when somebody sort of jumps out at you and surprises you, or you do it when you're tired or no one's watching or something like that, because you want to be able to, so to speak, do it in your sleep. It needs to be an automatic. It needs to be an automatic. Here's the trigger, here's the automatic. Here's the trigger, here's the automatic. So we've got that trained. So those are the levels and the steps and the processes. We could do that. Now, if you think about my snow skiing, I visualized what it'd be like, and I was prepared for it, and and again, I was able to hold the focus on what I was looking for, and it just worked. I learned how to snow ski, and I got better and better and better. And I didn't ever feel I was suffering, sacrificing, or anything. It felt great. I was so excited. Then, now, but that isn't the only thing I've tried to do. So let me go back to that. So let me give you an example here. So many things I have tried to train myself to do it, and it hasn't worked near as well. Okay, so it's sort of like, when people are, first fall in love, they say love is blind, right? And all they see is the great stuff about this guy, the great stuff about this person, or the great stuff, whatever. And that's all they see. And yet their friends are going, oh man, this guy is not good, or this girl is not good. And they talk about the different things, but you don't see it. And then all of a sudden it goes crazy, and everything's in the relationship is blown up. Okay, and you come up with, I'll never do that again. You'll never let go and just let yourself be there, totally fall in love. Okay? So now you've got this, oh no, I'm holding back. And those brakes, it's sort of like, it starts to be like you have this car and you're pushing the gas, but you got these brakes, and it's like you just wear the thing out. And anyway, just as a sense, but when people try to change, it's a little bit like that. They're sort of holding back, but they're going for it. So one of the things we want to start doing here is starting to get a sense of what our training machine is like, and get a sense that we could actually get one that we could totally believe in and let go. We could trust it, so to speak, to train ourselves, to train. Just like I learned how to ski, I just went for it, and I trusted that it would work out. And that's where we want to be. We want to be, we're just trusting for it, going for it, and figuring things out along the way, and doing the things that we need to do. Now, what other thing we want to talk about here real quick? So we all know, that they say the unexamined life is not worth living. And it sounds like almost, you've got to put it in the right context to understand it. It's sort of like, if you look to see who you could become, if you trained yourself, it's like you got to realize that that is just amazing. Okay? It's not like you want to examine yourself for faults and flaws and stuff like that. It's your it's like looking to see what you could become. It's like, now it's like, whoa, yeah, right, compared to what I could be, whoa, right? And it's like, I know we all have that sense of we can be more than what we are. I mean, you go, I know I'm more than what I am. I know it. And it's like, if I just could get myself to do it, and we try to force ourselves, or we're hoping somebody will come along and make us do it, or trick us to do it, or something like that. But we never thought that there might be, actually, we needed to train ourselves to do it. And I want you to get the sense that you could do that. You could have this thing where that sense of all those things you think more that you could become, you can become those things. Okay? And you want to get a feel for it. Just like, if you were the weightlifter, with the big muscles, I can easily lift that weight. Well, you can easily become the people that you want to become, and as you decide about doing it, you'll see, oh, I just need to do this and this and this. And anyway, I want you to start seeing, and getting that, so to speak, that twinkle in your eye, that little smile says, look out, here I come. And you're going to start feeling that you have a training machine, and you're going to build a training machine, and it's going to get you to where you want to go. All right, enough for today. Vibe Coding University, training humans to train themselves.